Hey, welcome back to Branching Out. I'm Curtis Hanlon. Today we're going to be making a lime mixture for whitewashing our fruit trees. So the first thing you're going to want to do though is make sure that you use water first and add the lime to the water. We're looking for a sour cream consistency, kind of like a paint. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to thin it out even more, and I'm going to add a little bit of latex paint to allow it to adhere to the trees themselves, to the trunks. So we're going to be painting the trunks of these fruit trees, and we're only going to be doing trees that are probably a little bit more than, say, 5 years old. Anything that has a diameter of maybe 2 or 3 inches or something like that and above, because anything smaller than that, the bark's too thin and it could do some damage to the bark and or prevent it from doing what it's supposed to do in nature. So this is going to really help with the pests, the borers, and fungus. So it's also going to help with sun scald, especially in the summertime when it's getting really hot and it wants to really heat up the sap, and in the wintertime or early spring when the sun is really beating down on the trunk itself. It's going to heat up the sap and make the tree go into to liven up too soon. So we're hoping to delay that action. Especially, I'll take you down to the peach trees and I'll show you why every year I get the same thing. I get a little bit of early bud, and then the frost comes in and causes a lot of damage to the bark, and we're going to hope this helps with that, especially with the fungus and whatnot. I also have a plum tree that we're going to get down there that has a canker, a fairly large canker on it. We're going to cut that canker right out, and just like as if you were cutting a branch, we're going to use this to paste over it, to seal it, to cover it, and to protect it. So this is also going to help with that particular canker. It's supposed to be pretty good for the plum canker that you can get on these trees. So let's get started. I'm going to need a little scoop here, and I got my trusty gloves. You should wear a mask or eye protection or something like that too, even though this is hydrated lime and not like, well, you know, the stuff they use to bury dead bodies. This is it's not something I want to keep playing with or breathe in. So pretty simple. All right, so I got my trusty little measuring pot here, you could say. We're gonna open that up now. This is super fine powder, and we're just gonna add some in, just like so, and we're gonna stir it up. Anyway, trusty little stir stick here. And again, this is just gonna be a milky white at first, but what we're aiming for is like a sour cream consistency. So we're just going to keep adding till we get this into a little thicker. And then we don't have to make this slaked, but it's already kind of pre-slaked because it's hydrated lime. It's not gardener's lime, and it's not other types of lime where you may have to let it sit for 24 hours for it to, what they call slaked. You're going to have to look that word up yourself. But that's what we're going to do. We're going to get this all written up in here, and we're going to get nice and stirred in. So stay tuned. Okay, so this is the mixture right here. We're gonna let it sit overnight, and then we might add a little more water tomorrow, and then a little bit of paint for adhesion. But the reason that we don't have to do the slaking to this, or making slacked lime they call it, it's mainly for other types of lime that need to kill the reactant. So when it starts to heat up, we'll let it heat up, and then after about 24 hours it'll stop heating up, and then you can add a little more water to just turn it into calcium hydroxide. So that's the idea. But see, it's not quite yogurt or, you know, sour cream, but we got a nice creamy consistency like paint, which is what they say to kind of make it to. So I hope you can see that right here, as you can tell. So we're going to leave that out here underneath the table for now, and we'll be back tomorrow to finish it off, and I will show you the plum canker I want to work on, and we'll get a picture of that peach bark, and I'll show you what happens to it when I keep getting frost and it starts a little too early, when they bud a little too early, which is what they do. So stay tuned. All right, it's been about 24 hours. We let it slacked or slaked. I've got rid of all that heat that might possibly, I know again, this is not the same type of lime, but in other limes you may have to let it sit for 24 hours or 2 days or so, just to make the reactants kind of cool down. But yeah, you can see there you go. So what we're gonna do, I'm probably gonna add just a little bit more water to this, just a little bit, and I'm gonna throw in a little bit of latex paint. So I'm gonna do that, and then we're gonna get down there and work on that plum canker. All right, so this right here, this is a canker. And I got another one kind of on the smaller side right over here too. So this doesn't need to be here. We'll probably cut that off later. But still, what we're gonna do, I got my cutter. We're gonna, first off, start taking a piece of it off. There you go. And we're gonna try and cut some of this off right here, right down like so. And we're just gonna get rid of it completely. So we're gonna carve all around here. So let me get that done and then we'll come back. All right, now that we got this done as best I can, I can't really take too much more of this here. So we are going to paint this to protect it. It should grow over it. And yeah, we're gonna paint, you know, up and around this area in here. So the whole thing from the bottom right up to the top. So let's get that painted. Just leave some of this lime, and we just like that. Simple, easy peasy, right? Looks like it's a little watery, but that's all right. We'll know for next year as well, right? So I've never done this before, but this is what all the professionals do, so this is what I'm gonna do as well. Rip that off. Get some of this shit out of here. Like so, there we go. And again, we'll come back in a second when I finish painting all of this, and then we'll move on to a couple others. And I definitely want to show you those peach trees, because those peach trees have some really bad bark. Now these were only the two bad cankers right here and here, so hopefully this takes care of it. All right, so there's one slack painted, and I did this cherry too. This cherry, he's giving me a hard time. It was a good cherry, but the mites or something went into the leaves. I tried to use some soap and water to spray, but it didn't quite work. So we're hoping it's gonna live and come back next year. Nothing I can do about that. But let's get over to this little peach tree over here. Now this isn't the one I was referring to. I'll still show you those. They're really bad. But you can see we got bark damage. Now not this, because this is just discoloration from the spiral being around it. But we got gummosis. We got some open canker here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna clean up some of this gummosis. We're gonna get that off of there. We're gonna scrape some of this a little bit, and then we're gonna paint it. And hopefully that helps this particular tree. All right, so you can see where the color change is. That's where I took out some of the gummosis, dug in there a little bit, and this is like a sealer. So it's basically just gonna seal it up so that it can prevent more rot and or fungus, places for bugs to bore or lay their nest or legs or whatever. And that's what we're doing. I get the peach leaf curl every year, probably because this stuff starts way too soon. So you can see it's not as good as, my buddy just sent me a picture of a tree, and man, she's doing really sweet. And then I have my nectarine over here, same type of thing. This one's in pretty good shape. This is one of my favorite nectarines on the property. It does really well, except for when the peach leaf curl comes. You can see it's kind of thinned out, but it comes back pretty good. Again, a late coating, and hopefully this will do until next year. So I just want to take you down to where my other peaches and nectarines are, because those are my very first trees I put in. They were grown from seed, I believe. And by the way, I'm only going to do trees about this size. So we have trees down at the end there. You can see down at the end, there's a plum, some cherries, and those are my second trees I put in, and they're just slightly bigger than these ones here. So yeah, I want to make sure that they got at least a 2-inch, 3-inch diameter, because anything else like this apple right here, for example, this is too small. The bark is too thin. We're not gonna mess with that right now. We're just gonna let it go, and hopefully this thing will come back. My apples do struggle. Some apples struggle here, but other than that, let's get back to what we were doing. We're gonna get down there. We're gonna do some of our peach and nectarines, and that'll be it for the day. And I'll have lots left over. I'll put a little lid on it or something, and keep it until tomorrow at least. And it's not supposed to rain, so don't do this on a rainy day. And then I'm gonna get down there and do some of those down there. Not worried about the big trees, except for maybe over here there's a knot that came out and it's been rotting in there. I might just throw some in there to help prevent it getting worse. But other than that, that's fine. Let's get up there. Let's get her done. All right, we're over here. These are my 2 nectarines right here, and those are my 2 peaches over there. And you can see how rough the bark is? It's leaving it very open for borers, any insects, fungus. So there's like peach leaf curl is a fungus, right? And it ends up in like some of this stuff here. But it's horrible, man. That's not the worst one. But you can see, again, it's creating like a death to my bark. Like none of my other trees look like that. And it's not supposed to look like that. So here, same thing. This one really struggles a lot. It's probably the tallest one I have, but you can see all the death. The death's on there because of that, the frost that I get. It buds way too early, and then it gets that. Then I go through the peach leaf curl. It's a lot of stress for this tree. So we're hoping that when I spray them up or paint them up in the fall, when the sun comes out, it won't heat up the sap as much and slow down the beginning of the bud season. So that's the idea. As you can see, like there's all these little spots like right here. See, oh, it's got like that big rough. So we're just gonna brush that right there again. Nice little canker right there too. And again, like it's all over. Now I had like, these are my very first trees. The only one that's really doing good is the apricot. I only have 5 out of 20 that I put in here. And yeah, this one's not so bad. This one's not too bad, it's doing okay. It's a little crooked, but you know, what are you gonna do? We're gonna paint it up anyways, and we're gonna take care of these trees. So let's get at her. I know these ones are a little smaller, like I said, but I don't really have much choice. We're gonna paint them up anyways because, well, I got nothing to lose. These trees are one step away from dying. They just keep growing up higher, and then I get a little plumes on the top, and then that's about it. And then it starts again next year. I rarely get any low growth, low branches. So let's hope this works out. All right, that's it. Painted up what I wanted to show you anyways, but there'll be more trees I'm gonna plant, definitely paint up. This is a whitewash, lime water, and a little bit of latex paint for adhesion, and it should help. So we will find out come next spring. All right, you guys stay safe, and I hope this helps you.